What's up, everybody out there in Facebook land? It is ID to the J with a taco salad today. And
Woohoo!
yeah, taco salad. I'm with my buddy Kyle. It is Dos Amigos
Hello,
today. We want to
everybody.
send a special shout out to Christina. She's not feeling well today. Just keep her in your prayers and thoughts. Christina, get better. We miss you. We know you had a rough day, but we're there for you. If you need us, just call.
Call on me, brother, when you need a
Singing lean
hand.
on me.
All right. Sorry we're a little bit late. I was having some technical difficulties, so if we have any of those during the show, blame
Which we're
me.
not
It's my
going
fault.
to because it's going to be fine. I do want to congratulate you guys first off on your 1 year of the CP Chronicles with Kyle and Christina. Your show went off without a hitch yesterday, or Saturday
Crazy.
actually. So it was really good. I enjoyed it, and I was planning to be there up to the last moment, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have music practice. Oh God, I can't be there.
I know. I wish. I wish. I mean, that's why I mentioned you, and you told me thank you because you are a big part of the group. Because
I love the group. I love the group so much. I want to welcome everybody as they come in. Hey Nikki, hey Sean, glad to have you
hey, Sean.
guys.
Hey,
Uh,
Nikki.
I actually put the link to the Three Amigos page on Facebook. If you guys want to join in the show, all you got to do is just click on that link right there, and you'll be in here with us. You can comment. I don't know why I went Southern for a minute, but I did. So we're going to talk about a lot of things today dealing with pressure and stress. Because it seems like one of those pressure and stress days. I woke up late. I didn't go to bed till I went to bed, but I didn't fall asleep till almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no.
Yesterday, I was tossing and turning, and it was because of an issue. I had a friend that was supposed to show up who I haven't seen in almost 20 years to show up, and she called me, and I was all excited, and everybody was excited for me, and she didn't show. So
And she
therefore,
didn't. Did she give you a reason or any
no,
explanation?
and the last time she did this, she didn't give me a reason either. But it's okay because I know the type of person she is, and it's all right. I just you can sit there and let it eat away at you. You can bash your head into the wall. You can cuss and scream, but it's not going to change the situation of what is. And you have to kind of go with the flow type of guy. And I'm usually that way, but when somebody makes plans and then doesn't stick to them, I'm like,
It's it's irrit it's irritating, DJ.
yep, yep.
You don't know how many times I had some friends, very one in particular that I won't name names, who makes a plan and then leaves me hanging for hours, and you're calling and you're wondering and you're wondering, and then you realize, well, my time's important too. So
Hmm.
we're just not going to hang out because me waiting to hang out does nothing for me. It stresses me out. And to that person, they're usually okay. They're like, sorry, something came up. It's like,
See, and that's what
oh,
bothers me. The whole sorry, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, "Hey, you could have let me know, just
that's all it takes to relieve a lot of stress is
mm,
communication. All you have to do is say, hey, today, like Christina today. I asked her, hey, are you going to be on the show? She's like, I don't think I can make it. And
mm,
so I ended up calling her. I'm like, you know, explain what's going on. Like, what did you have a bad day? Because I kind of know she was having a rough morning. So I
right,
asked her, and
right.
she's like, yeah. So she talked it through, and it's like, okay, like I get it. You don't need to come
Yeah,
on the show and
it totally makes sense. That's why Kyle and Christina and I communicate so well. Nikki, thank you for your request, sweetheart. I appreciate it. We're actually doing the etiquette, disability and etiquette part two on Wednesday. So actually, Kyle's going to be there, but we'd love for you to be there and support and
hi.
comment with us. So thank you for asking for that. But yeah, sometimes you have to adapt to a situation. People people are human. People need time. things come up. Sometimes you have the day from hell, and Satan rears his ugly head, and you're beating him with a rolling pin, going, "No, no, no!" And you're just like, "I can't do it." I mean, it's one of those things where you have to make a decision, and sometimes you've got to take care of yourself. We've talked about self care a lot on this show. I know I love Christina to death. I know Kyle loves Christina to death, and I know everybody up here loves Christina to death. And sometimes you just need a Christina day. And hey, Jeff, how are you, buddy? Thank
Hey
you
Jeff,
for
thanks for
coming in.
watching.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Sometimes it's just hard because when we can't do something or we're not able to do something, we push ourselves too hard instead of saying no, which causes an added pressure. Do you agree?
Oh yes, and that's what Christina doesn't do anything unless she can give it her best.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell she wasn't. She was like, I can't do the show how I would want to, so it's better that I don't. And you
How,
do.
how does that make you feel with being able to rely that if she's not going to be able to do it or you're not going to be able to do it, you both are able to say, listen, I can't give my best today. Can we reschedule? Can we do another topic? Can we look at something different?
Well, that's what I love about this show in particular because with the three of us, we can still put on a show. I've missed some shows, Christina's missed some shows. DJ, you're the old steady reliable. You just always here and we appreciate you.
I,
But,
I've,
like
I've, I've been around a little longer than I should have.
the show can carry on. Like yes, Chris, we're all like we're a triangle. We all
Mm,
make we're all pillars of do a show without
mm,
one of the members and still still have their presence felt here. But like Christina and I shows the CP Chronicles, like if she couldn't do the show, I wouldn't know what to do. Like I wouldn't want to do the show by myself.
it's harder to have a feeling when you're used to somebody being there constantly, when you know how that person is, you play off of each other, you feel off of each other, you can tell where the topics are going. That's just like Kyle. I'm so used to Kyle on certain situations, just like with the show Saturday. I was doing music, and for the first hour and a half, it was 1:30, and we got there at like 11 o'clock, and it was 1:30, and the whole system had locked up. So we had to
Uh,
do a complete system restart where we had to figure out what was going on, plug everything back in, go through, and we found out one of the projects had locked up, so we had to stop that project and restart a whole another one. But it took us almost an hour and a half. And Steve's like, "Well, I'll take you home and let you get on the radio so that you don't miss the 1 year show." And I'm like, "No, made a commitment to do music. Emily's going to put Kyle and Christina on, which she did a fantastic job, and we got it working, and it ended up being a great practice. But I'll tell you, I felt so bad that I wasn't there because I'm dedicated to my guys, and I'm not
right.
there." And
Well, see, and that's internalized pressure,
mm,
and that's internalized
mm,
stress because you and I are very similar, and I think even Christina, when we are there for our friends, we want to be there like 100% all the time. Like I'm always trying to be like, how can I support you? And when I can't, then it's like, ooh, this is weird. This isn't me. This isn't natural. And then that's when you get the like, oh, I feel guilty. I feel bad. And I'm realizing more and more now that I have to let that internalized pressure go
mm,
because,
mm,
and that's the thing. You didn't leave us hanging.
right.
You thought of a solution to our problem.
Hmm.
So even though you weren't there, we could still do the show. And
Well,
you were still, I mean, you are, again, an inaugural part of the group, so your presence was still there, so we were able to adapt and move on. So,
TJ is the patriarch.
yeah.
Wow. I, you know, I love you guys. Every member of the group, all 10 of us. Um, it is so amazing. And I guess one of the first topics, just in relieving pressure, relieving stress, relieving things that you deal with, having somebody to talk to that you trust. I think that is, I don't care what time it is. I don't care, if it's, 10 in the morning, 2 in the morning. If I need something, I can call one of my guys. Okay. And there are, what, 8 females and 2 males
Then me and DJ, we
in this group.
got.
And, I love the fact that Kyle sometimes needs an ear because Kyle's the patient guy who helps everybody out. So to hear him say, DJ, I went through this, I don't know what to do. Well, he didn't exactly say, I don't know what to do. It was, I said, well, tell me about it and let me see if I can't, give just a little bit or help just a little bit. Sometimes it just takes talking to somebody that you trust to be able to get it out to where you're not holding it in, because sometimes you're holding it in and you don't even realize.
And sometimes when you're the person who everyone leans on, they kind of there can be a sense of, well, Kyle or DJ, has all the answers, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all the answers. I'm just me. So sometimes it is necessary to be like, DJ, I need your perspective because I
I
don't
don't
have
know.
it. I don't
And,
have it all.
and you know what? Realizing that a person doesn't, one person cannot be the counselor all the time. I am not a psychologist, nor do I want to be a psychologist because I could not listen to problems all day. I would be like, look, just jump out the window, everything will be fine eventually, because it picks at your brain to a point. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you can't fix it. Sometimes you just have to step back and let the person realize that's dealing with the problem they need to work it out. You can give all the advice in the world, but if the person doesn't help themselves, if the person doesn't at least try to do what they're going to do and give effort, they're not going to see change because they're relying on somebody else to change it for them. I think.
you you can offer a solution on a silver platter, but they still have to reach out and grab a hold of it. And
Wow.
if they're not willing to do that, at that point I'm like, well then you got to figure what you need to figure out. I mean, sounding boards are good. Getting advice is good, but ultimately you are the one who decides what advice is good for you and what's the advice that you can let go.
You
You have
know,
to make
go ahead, Joe.
you
I'm
have,
sorry.
you have to make you have to make the ultimate final decision on a situation. No one can do it for you because they're not you. Ultimately, it boils down to you.
The way you presented that, and guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know I'm chomping on this taco salad here and now. I know we're on Facebook Live, but brother ain't eat yet, so I'm getting a few bites here and there. But the thing about it is, just like Kyle said, there can be a solution on the table, a clear, no joint solution right there. This is all you have to do. This, and this will solve the problem. If the person doesn't take the solution and use it to their advantage, they're going to go, well, they're not helping me. I'm not getting it done. And I'm just, you have to apply, you got to put in some work. It's not going to just happen for you. And I think
No.
people expect that. I think some people expect to be hand fed. And there's nothing wrong with that for a little bit. Sometimes you gotta be the baby bird, but eventually the baby bird's got to grow up, and you got to learn. I got to do this on my own, you know, because pressure, a lot of pressure and a lot of stress comes from us as an
Uh
individual.
huh.
We put added stress on ourselves. When Kyle called me 20 minutes before showtime and said, "Hey, Christina can't make it. Can we either reschedule for next week or can we do a different topic? Can you call me? Let me know." I got on the phone. Kyle, no problem. Tell her no problem. We got it. We were going along this line anyway. Let's just continue here. See, I'm very, very easy. Very easy. I don't get mad. I don't get angry unless You tell me you're gonna do something like show up on Sunday and not show up, and they know who I'm talking about. Um, and she gonna sit there, and I know she gonna see this because she knows I'm gonna do something about it because she knows it irritated the ever loving bejesus out of me, but I don't show it. See, because that was her loss. Okay, you called me, you asked me, can I show up at Sunday at your place at 3 o'clock? You didn't show up at my place at 3 o'clock. That's okay though. That's all right. That's all right. Because you know what? Screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me.
And you know what? Her loss is your gain because you know what? You gained perspective on that relationship.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, it was in the back of my brain that she was going to stand me up. No pun intended. To understand that, but we've been friends. We've been more than friends, to tell you the truth, since 2000. And well, I met her in '98. I was in high school, and we were very close. I'll put it that way. In high school, all the way through 2003 and or 2001, and then I went to college, and I came home for Christmas, and she was going to show up, and her sister showed up, and it was a whole nother thing there. But I guess the added pressure is words are important. So if you say you're going to do something and can do it, do it. If you can't, have the balls to call somebody and say, "Hey, this happened. Um, this is kind of where we are." That's what I love about Kyle. He'll straight shooter to the point. It's not I want to do this, but it's this happened, and this happened. Can we fix it? That men don't need 9,000 words. Men need, this is the problem. How do we get past the problem? Okay, let's fix the problem. Women, on the other hand, want to talk about it. They want to diagnose it. What color is it? Size, shape, texture. But again, sometimes that is a good thing, being able to go into detail, but sometimes it's not the time or the place for it. And it stresses you out. Me, I don't like for a problem to sit. I want to get the problem out when I know there's a problem and then deal with it so I don't have to deal with it anymore. You the same way? You
Oh
kind of
yeah, I need a solution faster. Like I don't want to drag it out more than it needs to be. We let's address it. Let's address it and move on. Or if we're not, or if there's a lack of communication, then that is me moving on. Because
yeah.
there was a point too where it's like, okay, if you're not going to communicate with me, I'm not going to communicate with you. But that also means like, just do your thing, I'll do mine. Um, and that's a solution. Sometimes walking away and not talking about it is a solution. Okay, if we're not going to be able to communicate, then
Just roll with it.
let's
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
um
Now,
and I
does
that's a,
it irritate you? And this used to happen to me. That's why I'm kind of asking you with the stress relief. When someone else was mad at me but wouldn't tell me why,
oh, that pisses
and
me
and,
off.
and you could tell, like, just tell me, no, it's not you, it's me. You lying piece of shit. What is it? Like what? Like,
Yeah, I'd much rather you tell me, well, you said this to me, which really pissed me off. Okay, I'm
mm-hmm,
sorry that I said this.
mm-hmm.
Or, so whatever it is, however hard the situation, I'd rather say it than be like, I'm fine. No, you're not. I can tell you not. I know you're not
Those are
fine.
the worst two words in the English language. I'm fine. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I have learned two things. When a woman tells you nothing or I'm fine, either go to the doghouse now or just go behind the couch and poop somewhere because you're in trouble. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
That
I mean, even if I would still be in the doghouse, I'd still want to know why you mad. Okay, yeah, I can be in the doghouse, but I want to know why, and then we can move forward from it. But
And that itself, great point. That is a process, especially for the opposite sex, because sometimes they don't know what they're angry about. Women never forget anything. They store it in a little gland back here, and they wait. Well, last Tuesday, your mama said that I was this, this, and this, and I'm like, where did that come from? I don't remember. Why? What happened? Oh God! And you're in public going, oh God, fight or flight just kicked in. What do I do? Oh shit! Oh crap! Oh no! And I'm like, don't add on to it. Okay, honey, no problem. But me, I'm like, no, she didn't. That's not what she meant. And I'm like, crap. I opened my mouth and inserted my shoe, and now it tastes like foot. And you're just like, now what do we do?
yeah, so I don't believe in like festering is the worst. If
Mm,
you have a problem with somebody and let that problem go, you
mm.
get angrier and angrier, and then the solution isn't always as simple as it could have been, or the conversation is a lot harder than it needs to be because that's when emotion starts to cloud your judgment.
Well,
The longer you wait,
exactly. That's sometimes people have a problem with saying no. And I know when I had Steve and I have been friends, gosh, for almost 8 years now. We've been doing music for 7, 8 years now. And there came a time where Steve would just do anything I asked him. And because Steve would do anything I asked him, unintentionally, I wasn't trying to, I started taking advantage of his time because I was able to use it. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do. And then he got tired. Okay. So we had a disagreement, and I said, you know what? After he told me, I said, all you had to do was say no. And that was the problem. Once he realized that I respected his time and it wasn't that I was trying to do it, it just hanging when when you are friends with a person with a disability, they have to know your boundaries and you have to know theirs, whether you have a disability or not. The rules of friendship don't change because a person has a disability, because a
right?
person has something going on in their lives.
If
Friendship is a two-way street. Go ahead, Cal.
if you have a boundary with your friends and you meet somebody who is your friend that has a disability, don't break that boundary for that friend. Don't feel that it's necessary to break that boundary. If that's something that you have always had and that's something that you believe in as a boundary, don't change your boundaries just because they're disabled. Like, we can respect your boundaries.
And we
Just
should.
and
We
we should,
should.
and that's what friends should do. I mean, if you have a person in your life that isn't respecting a boundary that you set explicitly,
Mm,
then if they're towing the line or crossing it, then is that really a good friend?
I would much rather you be honest and say you can't or don't want to. Like my friend Max now, I've mentioned Max several times on the show, and he actually did an episode with me on, I think it was either DJ's Thoughts or one of those that I had. And we talked about, the falling out that we had and why and how it all came to be. But now Max has realized and found himself and realized and said, look, I can't hang out this week, dude. I don't feel like going anywhere. And me as a person, my first reaction 2 years would have been, oh man, come on, I want to hang out. I want to, because but now I'm like, you know what? No problem. We can maybe hang out next week or maybe next month. No problem. Just give me a call and let me know. You have to learn how to take what is happening in your life in pieces. Problems Problems are not solved just like that. Problems are dissected, problems evolve, problems change. Sometimes you just rub somebody the wrong way. And see, that's with Kyle, I've only known that to happen once. And it was because of you got to be careful with text messages.
Hmm.
Text messages, no matter how much you try to show emotion, you cannot hear in a text message what someone is saying unless they are a really good typer, they use proper etiquette, they use exclamation points, and even then, with all that crap that's in there, you're going, I need to hear your voice. And if Kyle would have heard my voice instead of reading the text message and been like, and if you feel that way, he would have
Yeah.
laughed because he would have saw where I was going. But
Hmm.
the thing about it is, I think with Max and with Kyle, people have their own way of finding themselves, and I think that is the number one pressure reliever I want to talk about. Being able to find yourself as an individual is not easy.
No.
It takes time to realize who you are, to realize what you want, and to realize what you want to do.
I have a side story about, similar to you and Max. When I would ask people to hang out, especially in high school, and even a little bit even younger than that, grade school, middle, elementary school, if I wanted somebody to hang out and they told me they couldn't, I would get very defensive, but my automatic thought would be, well, they don't want to hang out with me because they don't like me, because
Right.
they don't like my disability. So I want to say, don't go looking for problems. Don't make problems where there aren't any. That's a big stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of finding yourself now at 27, if someone's like, "Oh, I can't do what I said, I can't hang out," I'm like, "Okay, what can I do for me then?" You know, now it's like self-care.
Great question. Great question. That right there. Keep talk about that a little bit because I want to see
Well,
where you're going.
I mean, if if you want to devote your time to your friends, which we all do,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody says, "Well, oh, sorry, we had plans and I couldn't make it," or "Hey, sorry, it's just not a good day," then it to me now it's like, okay, so now that I have the time that I thought was allotted to having time with my friends, how can I redirect this time to something that I need? What do I need to get done? Since I have the time and I'm by myself, what do I need from me? Whether that be, hey, let me spend an hour listening to some music and just kind of melt away. Let me take the time to read a book. Let me take this time. Oh, I forgot to do my exercises this morning. Oh, perfect time. Let me do my exercise. Let me call somebody that I haven't talked to in a while. Like, there are things you can do for you when you just have to learn to adapt and realize that your time is well spent, and some of that time needs to be spent on you.
You have to realize that sometimes the only way something is going to get done is if you do it. And
Hmm.
if a person cancels on you, don't get mad at them. Don't hold it against them because they cancel. Show them that you value them enough to allow you to cancel and come back another time. Now, I have a little bit of a side story. I'm not going to throw this person under the bus because he's one of my best friends. Carl and I, Carl lives in Waynesboro and I live here in Virginia. And Waynesboro is about 3.5 hours away. I wanted Carl to come down. I tried 30 times, literally. He canceled on me 31 times before he came down. Sometimes he would wait till the day of. Sometimes he would cancel the week before. Sometimes he would cancel 3 days before. But one time he was going to come down, and me and Max went and got a brand new futon, brand new couch, put it together the day of. He was supposed to come down. He canceled an hour before.
Oh, I'd be so angry.
And I laid into him. I'm not going to say what I said. I'm not going to say what I did. But let me explain something. We had a little bit of a falling out, if you will, and I talked with him, and we had a good talk. And what I came to find out was his job was doing a lot of stuff to him that they shouldn't have been doing. And, we talked about it. Now, later on, and this is what I mean by friendship and about friendship. Later on, um, we'll definitely check that out when we get a chance, and we hope you can get through that. And that we totally understand. So Liz Rogers posted a video about a problem she's having. Hopes we don't mind. That's perfectly fine. But what happened was Carl's dad um, and had stroke, and I was in the middle of something. And when I saw it happen, when he posted about it, I immediately dropped what I was doing, and on live, I went live and I began to pray for him and his family, and along that line. And when I did, I wanted everybody to share it, and I began to ask my friends to start a prayer line, and they did. And somehow or another, Carl and Carl's dad and Carl's mom, Carl's family saw the video, and they were so thankful of what happened that Carl's mom sent me a beautiful letter thanking me, for what I was doing, and the video went viral basically through their family and through their entire, I guess through their entire ranks. And because that happened, Carl and I, you know, we've always been great friends. And we're great friends because Carl did eventually come down. He actually came down twice. And he's going to come down again. But I had to learn how to approach the I can't come down because. And I had to learn when a job has you by your throat, some jobs do that. Some jobs require you to work countless hours, different shifts, different lines, different areas. And in talking to Carl, I learned that sometimes he needs other things besides coming down. Sometimes Carl gets worried about his dad. Am I doing this right? Did I think about this right? Is dad okay? Is mom okay? And we began to talk more and to focus on, hey, how's mom and dad doing? What are they thinking about? How have they been? The recovery in the nursing home was tough, and what his dad went through was tough. But I was there for him and for his family because I wanted to be. And it was amazing to me how much pressure that took off of Carl, Carl's dad, Carl's mom, Carl's family, and myself because I felt like I was doing something even though I wasn't there. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? I mean,
Yeah.
to relieve pressure for somebody else through prayer and through showing support emotionally and physically, that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful, powerful thing. And to see his dad on his full recovery, he's not quite there yet, but he's doing so many things better, and he's getting around the house and he's back to his old self again. And his wife is able to allow him to do things and her to do things. It's just so good to see them back in the way I knew them of. You smiled
Yeah.
there. What are you thinking?
Nah, that's just it's and especially I think with Zoom and COVID and everything, you realize that support doesn't always mean that you see each other all the time.
Mm.
Support doesn't always mean that you're physically in the same room all the time. Support comes in a lot of different ways, and your story just I don't know, it makes me happy that you guys were able to like reconnect and just discover that support is it's there's so many varieties of showing support. Andy in our group, we sent her a card for something she was going through.
A virtual card.
Like, you know, it doesn't, you know, as much as we wish we could, like, oh, let's hop on the plane and like physically be there. Sometimes physically being there doesn't really help in
You
some
know,
senses. Like,
and to go a little bit beyond there, when we get all 10 of our group members, you got to understand
oh, it's gonna be something.
our
But
our connection to these guys, and I say to them, I won't let anybody hurt my family. I will go after someone that tries to hurt my family. And these 10 people, try not to get emotional because it's hard because you when you have been through hell and high water with 9 others and you know things about 9 others that you're not going to share on Facebook because you have a pact because of what happens in the group stays in the group, and we are family. We support each other in ways, and Andrea went through it. I mean, she's been through it. She's
yeah,
a trooper, man, and I love Andrea to death. Making her laugh sometimes is all I can do, but I'm going to make her laugh so hard that she has to stop thinking about what's bothering her and focus on laughing or she can't breathe. I mean, because it's just that's like Lena. You know, you mentioned Lena on Saturday, how far she's come and with the new chair and the whole thing. Just to see Lena survive and succeed after um,
and even more than that, thriving.
hmm hmm
She's at she's I think before she was surviving because she had to, but now I feel like she's really entered the like thriving stage of like, yes, she went through something very traumatic and she has
hmm
come out the other side, and
See, and this is
so
why I
proud of
love
her.
Christina. This is why I love Christina right here because she couldn't be here with us. She's still watching the show. She's still here. We are all in this. When we are all in the same room, I'm going to hug everyone for 5 minutes straight, and they better like it. That's the one thing that I'm looking for. To these people know so much about me. I literally want to stand. Hey Kim, I literally want to stand in the center of the
Hey
room
kid.
and just have everybody hug me and just cry because
Hopefully happy tears.
it's oh definitely it is happy tears because to be in the center of this family, and this kind of goes off a little bit more. Christina and I talked about it, and I'm so glad she's here. I'm glad Kim's here. I'm glad Jeff is here. I'm glad all of you are here. I'm glad Kyle is here. I have never really seen myself as a leader. It's not something that I know I'm capable of it, but I don't want to push it off as in I am the leader. They do what I say and they follow me. That's never
Mhm.
what I want to be. And there was something Christina said the other day because I was struggling. A matter of fact, we both had a rough day, and we were talking, and something happened, and I said, I feel like no matter what I do, am I doing it right? And she goes, you are putting more pressure on yourself. Um, Hi Noah. It's my son. Sorry.
Oh,
It's just it's amazing to me how Christina could see what I was struggling with and kind of just go, "You are a leader." And I learned something. If you don't see it, that most of the time means you're doing it right. I
hmm,
I when I was little, I used to look for gratification of things. I had to be told I was doing a good job. I had to see it because I couldn't, due to my level of immaturity. That's right, I said it. Due to my level of immaturity at the time, I could not see with these eyes what was happening in front of me. But to be a leader is not always telling someone what to do. Sometimes sometimes it's more leading by example. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. I don't. I consider Kyle. I've always considered Kyle high because of his maturity, because of his modesty, because of his honor.
Oh.
There's more. It's more to it. And Christina's the same way. And I talk about us three, a lot as the three amigos. That's kind of how we came into this show. Not that I don't connect well with the others in the group, because Bibiana, Jill, Lena, Cindy. I was so surprised with Cindy on Saturday. Um, Cindy has really come out of her shell.
Oh, thanks, Kim.
She, yes, he is. Kyle's such a sweetheart. Um, Cindy has really come out of her shell. To She's just a wonderful mother figure to all of us.
Mhm.
I think that she cares about us as sons and daughters, because it's just a powerful thing when you get a group that is willing to be there for you in emotional ways, in physical ways, in spiritual ways, in mental ways, and it connects you to where they messaged me and said, "Hey, did your friend show up? Did your friend show up? What happened? What happened? What happened?" And I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." And then I had to tell them, "Oh, my friend didn't show up," and everybody was like, "Do you need anything? Call me, call me, call me, call me, call me." And it's like, "No, I'm here." And but they respected the fact that I didn't push to try to get something out of me that I didn't want to talk about at the time. So stress relief sometimes is just being there in the best sense that you can and letting it happen. Sometimes you can just sit there like this, and the dam will break, the tears will flow, the words will come, and it makes me think. Did you ever watch Walker Texas Ranger growing up at all?
I did not.
There was an episode where they're trying to find out where this gang is, and it's a young female, and everybody's trying to talk to her. Everybody's trying to get the information out of her. She sits. She's sitting in a chair. Walker comes over, who's Chuck Norris. Walker comes over, sits down in the chair, and
Music.
doesn't say anything. In 2 minutes, she's like, "I'm not going to tell you where my brother is. I know that's what you want." See, the truth is, she wanted to talk, but she wanted to do it on her terms. And he didn't pressure her. And once he didn't pressure her, the dam opened up, the floodgates opened up, and it became, they found where he was, da 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 da. That's how life is sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to,
support.
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, support isn't always here. What do you need? I have a solution. Sometimes it is literally like, I'm here. I'm not
Mm,
gonna say anything, but like, I'm here, and just having the freedom to be like, like, you don't have to share, but like, I just want to be here in case. Sometimes it's just listening and not really saying anything in a conversation, and just be
that's it
like,
right there. Sometimes the ability to listen will solve the problem before it ever starts. Sometimes that's all you need.
because
And
sometimes the person already knows the solution. They
mhm,
just need somebody to like get everything out and be like, that's it.
I look at that, and there was something you said in the early part of the show. We've got a few more minutes here, but I don't know all the answers. Being able to come up front and say, "I'm here to listen. I don't know if I have a solution, but I'm willing to listen and give you what I've got." See, there's a choice. When you talk to somebody, one of three things happen. Okay? You talk to them, and this is what happens. They either give you advice, they listen, or they piss you off. One of those three things happen. And the reason I say that is because sometimes people want to someone to talk to them because they think they're going to tell them what they want to hear.
That's the hardest. I've been in situations where I haven't said what the person wanted me to say, but
Mm-hmm.
I gave them the realistic, honest opinion and not the yes man opinion.
Mm.
And that's the hard part because it's like you're going against what I needed you to say. It's like, but no, I shouldn't say that. I'm going against what I wanted you to say. I give them what they needed me to say.
Right, 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 right. It's not you know, and I hate to use this analogy, but that's a great comment, Kim. Uh, Thank you, Kyle. I can be very quiet at the same time. I'm quiet just so someone can listen to me, and not many people understand that. You know,
Yeah. So that's what I think DJ I think well I was a lot quieter in the beginning of our group,
hmm
but a lot of time it was me absorbing
hmm
and not wanting I wanted to like if I was going to speak, I wanted to give you like the best thing I could give you. So
hmm
for a long time I would just sit and then be like, Kyle, what do you think?
hmm.
And then they're like, well, this is what I think. Um, but now I'm a little less reserved, and when it comes to our group, I'm like, here, this is what I got.
You know,
um,
the amazing thing, I got to plug Kyle's YouTube for a second.
oh,
I really, my disabled experience, that's how I got to know Kyle, honestly. I've seen every video he's put up, and I've probably seen it twice. I
oh,
probably
thanks,
watch
DJ.
every, you've got what? Gosh, almost 12,000 views now, something like
Yeah,
that.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Kyle, in his experiences of life, when he speaks, he was very at first he was very laid back, very withdrawn, very in his own little space. You know, Kyle had marvelous things to say, but you had to pick around the rock to get to the oil. Once
right.
Kyle opened up, and I went, "Damn, this dude's good." Like, it takes a lot for me to shut up and go, "I got to shut up for a second," because Kyle has so much important stuff to say that you want to get it all. And I'm a talker. Sometimes I talk too much. But when I'm quiet, look out. That's that's what you don't want. When
Oh, I
I'm
know
quiet,
that.
that's the whole
There's been many a meeting where it's like, DJ, especially before we had some transitions. They'd
yeah.
be like, DJ, are you? I'd be like over here separately, being like, are you okay? Because like you're not saying anything, and you know,
And Kyle could see it. Kyle could see
yeah,
it building like a volcano. And before some things happen, I'm just like, I'm going to erupt right here on the meeting and somebody's going to get burned by lava. Of course, I didn't say that, but Kyle and Christina and Lena could see, you know, I there it's dangerous. Go ahead, Kyle.
I want to say that if you're not in a space where you cannot openly say what you need to say, then you're not in the right space and something needs to change.
Mm.
Because and the group has evolved in a lot of ways and we've really come into our own as a group where we
I'm so
are
glad you said that.
where where we are able, we are comfortable. I'm not saying we were never we've always had a bond, but like we've had to go through a lot to get to where we are now.
Mm.
Um, but now that we've been able to get to where we are, we're really rock solid.
When this group became rock solid, it was no head, no foot, all equal. When that happened, when I was nominated to lead the group, it was an honor. And I didn't see myself again as that leader. but others showed me that they felt comfortable when I led. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Because when you're the guy, I didn't want to be the guy. I wanted to be part of it.
Did you feel pressure?
At first, I did. Because the one person that was leading is no longer there. And then there was I mean, she just left. And then it was just like, well, now what do we do? And did I do this? And it was more how I just wanted you guys to see that we are all equal and we all deserve to use our voice, even when someone doesn't like it. Even
Well,
when the person that taught us to use our voice, that taught us how to, when it came to it, and then we used it, they didn't like it, and we're still suffering for it. I can say what I want
hmm
on the show. I ain't on the radio. And the thing about it is, we deserve a fair trial because we are equal. And this group is the most important thing in my life. And I will live and die for this group because when I step up to lead, I do it. I'm not going to accept the position of leadership if I am not capable of doing it. Now, where the struggle comes in is, am I leading enough? Am I
DJ,
doing enough? Go ahead.
the answer is yes. And I want to say that I'm proud of you for not trying to fill this person's shoes. You're making your own shoes. You know,
I like this.
you're not wearing their shoes. You know, this group has evolved into something I want to say I'm going to say it better than what it was because
Yes, much
now
better than what it was because the
now
pressure is gone.
mhm
There was so much pressure on this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing and this thing, and we couldn't even get to one.
mhm
And once we realized that every square has equal time and we have a structure and we have the ability to do something, and I don't put a time limit on it, but I kind of do because I want to make sure that everybody gets to bed and gets their sleep. I want to make sure that no one feels left out. This group, when I say this group is family, that's that's why. Can I get in the group? Can I get it? No, this is our group, and you got to understand, it's nothing against y'all. We have shared so much shit in this group. If one of y'all came in, it would be like awkward as hell because
I
everybody
mhm.
else would have to get used to sharing with a new person. Not saying they wouldn't, but I'm just you gotta work.
I I think it would be awkward on both sides of the
Mm,
coin
mm,
of
mm,
having a new person come in because then we have to fill them out
mm,
and what we're comfortable sharing, but
mm.
also that individual coming in would see how comfortable we are with each other and not that
Right,
person.
and then feel awkward because
So,
they weren't in that level.
yeah,
Do you
it's just
think?
it's very hard to cuz we talk about this group and like you can make your own group and make it as good as you want it to and I suggest that you do that. This group has just been through a lot. It was brought together with a very specific purpose and it has evolved since then into what it is now, which is much better than what it was. Um, there was still we got lost a little bit in
Mm,
along the way, and we had to
mm.
find ourselves. We had to find our identities as individuals and as what the group really was for and what we wanted it to be. And once we were able to do that, so it's
Can
just we
you
it's
can
yeah,
you
go ahead.
share just a little bit? And I know you talked a little bit about this on Saturday, and this is kind of why I want to do this. You know, we sometimes we go an hour, sometimes we go an hour and a half, sometimes we go 2 hours, sometimes we go an hour and 8 minutes. But honestly, Kyle, would you share just a little bit about what the group has done for you from its inception to now?
Well, honestly, it's just given me a place to know that, like, I have 9 other people who have my back. Like, if I have an issue, like, hey guys, I need your help. I'm sending out the CP signal. Um, like, just to know that I've got so many people that, like, want to know what's going on in life and can relate to, you know, CP, but also things outside of CP, and just
Mm.
having the, it is a second home. It's like, I've got I've got my family and friends here, and when they're not around, I've got all of you guys, and just your love and support has helped me just to be more comfortable in using my voice, even since we've went through so much. But just being comfortable sharing and being vulnerable on a deeper level. It's 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 like I'm internally grateful for that, and I didn't know that that's what this group would become,
Hmm.
because again, it was for a very specific purpose why we were all brought together that didn't end up happening. So I didn't know that we were going to go so deep, and I
Hmm.
didn't know it was going to get so personal. But I'm glad that it did.
Do you feel like an equal? Is there a
I
head?
do.
Is there a
Oh,
head? Is there a foot? Is there a leader, so to speak?
I feel very much an equal now. There wasn't, we've had members come and go and leaders leave, and, then, and again, we're talking about pressure. If you have a leader who makes you feel uncomfortable and puts pressure on you to do things a certain way, or, be there always, or whatever it may be, and they're not, and you don't feel comfortable being yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then you need to relieve that pressure, and we did collectively. um,
And that's the word right there. That's C word. Collectively, this was not a one person event. When someone makes you feel intimidated, when someone makes you feel uncomfortable, if you have 8 people come to that person and say, "You make me feel this way because," "You make me feel this way because," you 8 times, and
that
that
per
chooses to look and say, "Well, I'm glad you used your voice, and I appreciate that you did that, and thank you for doing that," and leaves and says nothing. In my head, I'm going, "What the fuck just happened?" Like, but I want to say this. I want to say this out loud. Some pressure is good because pressure on cold creates diamonds.
I was
And
gonna say that too.
this group is a diamond in the rough right here. If we were all in the back alley with sticks, I'd be in the middle saying, "Come on, come on, come on." They ain't gonna get us from all sides. God dang it, because we surround each other and we care about each other, but we want to make each other better, not because we have to, because we want to. We accept people as they are, but we want them to grow. And Bibiana's another one. Bibiana, I love her. She is an 18-year-old phenomenon that knows so much stuff
hmm
about anything, but then she has those moments where she's vulnerable and scared and worried and what do I do? And it's that I just want to kind of hug her and go, "It's going to be okay. You're going to be all right." Kyle, too, there's a vulnerability in all of us, and allowing that vulnerability to be shown is okay because it's powerful, because we learn from each other, we grow from each other, but we are planted in the same soil and we are getting the right type of nutrients, not things we're going to do or want to do, but things we are doing. There's not 60 things we have on the agenda. Right now, there's one. Getting in the same room with all 9 people going, "Yeah, woo!" That's,
We've arrived.
we have five. You
Ugh.
know, there's not books and memos and documentaries and yes, I want
Oop.
to. I want to do all that. but we're going to plan it and we're going to get it done one step at a time. Yeah. I love these guys, man. They're so awesome. So I'll close with this. When you are by yourself, it is very difficult. I did not say impossible. It is very difficult to survive alone. When you are alone, there's nobody there to hear you scream. There's no one there to hold your hand and lead you out of the darkness you are in. And companionship is the one thing in this world that can get you out of your darkest situation. But I will also say this: when you find people, a person, or persons, or peoples to connect with, whether it's 1, 10, 12, 9, or 197, your group don't need to be 197 people to reach somebody. Your group don't need to be 9 people to reach somebody. Your group needs to be a group committed to each other that is willing to make a difference and grow. Understand what I'm saying?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mic drop.
I mean, that's all we do. A lot of times, I don't. I'm just in the square, just listening.
Well, and I think adding any more people would take away some of the personability because when there's like 20, 30 people on a meeting or in a group, session, we're all together. How do
Too big. Too big.
how does everyone
Mm-hmm.
talk?
Mm-hmm.
And then they start to feel, well, I didn't get to say what I wanted to say because
Isolated. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then kind of defeats the purpose.
So if you would, brother Kyle, go ahead and close us out with your thought on going from being where you were to where you are now. What say what you want. Whatever's out there, let them know because they need to hear from brother Kyle. Go ahead.
Thanks, DJ. I just want to say, thank you to the group. I mean, I feel like we've kind of been beating a dead horse here, but like, I don't know that you understand what you've actually done for me as people
Mm-hmm.
who have the same disability as I do and can relate to the things that no one else can relate to.
Yeah, yeah.
And, finding the right people, like, I'm so thankful that you don't add pressure to my life. Like, you help relieve the pressure because you give me a place to, scream if I need to laugh, cry,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
sit there. Just sit there and be distracted. Like, you know, just thank you. And if you're feeling the pressure, there's a way out from underneath it.
Yeah, yeah. That's well said. Well said. Think about pressure this way as we end. I just want to say, too much pressure. When you turn anger inward, you turn emotion inward, and you turn pressure inward, you damage yourself. And if you think about pressure that starts right here and eventually grows and grows and grows, when it gets to the top and you can't hold it anymore, the simplest thing is going to break that straw. And when that pressure erupts, it's going to take everybody around it out. So the advice that I have in the last 30 seconds that I'm going to talk, I'm going to say this: find somebody or some people that you trust and talk to them. Rely on them. But also, do not give up on yourself
Hmm.
because it is not someone else's responsibility to take your burdens. It is not someone else's job to take your responsibility or your burdens. It is their action of helping you cope with and deal with those responsibilities and burdens that makes you better as you are. So continue to grow, continue to, well, to quote it from Kyle and Christina, live, laugh, and succeed. That's it.
That's all you gotta do.
Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Talking Topics with the Three Amigos. You guys feel free to go to our like page and please, 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 please go to My CP Does Not Define Me and subscribe, because all of the Talking Topics with the Three Amigos episodes are on YouTube as well. You can see them. You can ask questions. You can comment. If you would like to be a guest, please send us an email at our Talking Topics with the Three Amigos like page. Kyle and Christina and myself do view that page every day. And if you want to watch the show next Monday, I put the link on my Facebook page. Click on it and watch it and tell your friends that we here to help somebody. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
Always,
everybody.
if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with a roll away. And Crushing Kyle with the home run 30. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.